And as I look at it, we are pretty much set up once we make these final few changes. So again, heading into this next season, a couple things to note before we just wrap up what the roster is. Current roster strategy set to normal. I'd like to see that go back to playoff push, if not playoff contender. But heading into this year, Ivan Herrera, he's got 1 year left on his deal, but this might be the last year we can rely on him to be the guy at catcher. But Kaiser, he's going to be taking a step up soon. Bonilla, Ramirez, it's not bad. First base this year, Tristan Casas, Chunky Harris. One of them will play the field. One of them will be the DH. In terms of first baseman, we'll have Aldo Herrera and Dino Beltran in triple, Henry Perez and Wendell McDaniel in double. Straightforward. Second base this year, we are going to call up Chester Jacobson as well. I do need to drop somebody from the 40-man, though. Who are we going to drop? Ooh. We got all those catchers, huh? Who are we going to drop off the 40-man? Who are we going to drop off the 40-man? Do we have... Let's see, Drake at 25. Damn, do we have an obvious person to drop? Probably Chris Silva. Like, he's fine, but he's not great. So, he'll end up on waivers for the moment. But Chester Jacobson will get the call-up. He's going to be ready to go. We'll show why in a second. Beckett Whiteley, AAA starter. And Mark Valley, AA starter. So we need one of each from free agency to fill out the roster from there. We get a sub 68 overall. Let's look for the veterans. Vidal Bruján, come on back. We had you here last year. Come on back. And who else is up there? Miguel Vargas, Logan Davidson. Let's go for Logan Davidson. Bring him in. Connor, that's probably the last thing I need updates on, by the way. So Bruján's still in triple, Davidson's down in double. Reason why we're going to have Jacobson and Tulibits. Third base, we need the competition for Omar Rodriguez. Again, these guys do not have the arm strength to be reliable third basemen. But it's just kind of how this is shaking out. And then shortstop is still going to be... Well, actually, I shouldn't say still. Again, we have swapped Jackson Merrill down to shortstop and put Jackson Holiday in center field. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So Ferreras is going down to AAA. So Rodriguez will be competing with the other ones. Correct, Kana, I don't. All right, let's see. Third baseman, who can we sign? Literally, it can be anybody. Even though they're going to be in AAA. Bohm still wants too much money. Ramirez still wants too much money. Buddy Kennedy wants too much money. All right, Yohan Moncada? He still wants too much money. What are we doing here, gentlemen? Davis Wenzel, Workman, Matt Chapman. There we go. Someone who realizes his worth in the modern age. What about Owen Miller? Perfect. And Ryan McMahon. Just sign the veterans to fill out the minor leagues. So we're going to have to designate Chapman for assignment. Try to put him down in triple. And then same for McMahon, only to double. And then Owen Miller, same thing. Shortstops, Maryland Honeycutt. We got Acuna and Cho in triple. So we just need a couple of filler dudes for double A. Nothing too crazy. At shortstop, 40-year-old Mookie Betts. I feel so bad for Mookie, but he's looking for too much money. I got to be careful with the cap. Even Garrett Hampson wants too much money. What about Dansby? All right, we can sign Dansby for the year. And who else is up there? Monasterio again. Go for Andrew Monasterio. Andrew, I'm Monasterio. So Dansby goes down to double. Monasterio, we will designate for assignment. Try to send him down to double. As far as the outfield is concerned, MLB level, Alonso, Holiday, and Alden Karnitz. We are going to take Elijah Green off of the 40-man. Alden, who was a third baseman or a shortstop last year, but he's developed enough. The arm accuracy isn't amazing yet, but he's somewhat promising to try and get some rotation time. And then Jack Cerna can also go down to AAA. So let's sim a couple of days here. Just auto-fix all. We lost Chris Silva on waivers to Washington. That's fine. Looks like everyone else would have cleared. Good. All right, so we have... Oh, fuck, the auto-fix, though. Yeah, the auto-fix screwed it up and called people back up. Whoops. Oh, well. Shouldn't take too long to get it back to where we need it. Honestly, for the most part, it's already there. Doodle Bits is good. Yeah, it barely changed anything. Good. All right, so outfield. Kevin Black, you are definitely not on this roster. Okay. Let's see how many of these outfielders are going to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll drop Rincon down to double. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Perfect. So then for the pitchers, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because we have a lot of talents. A lot of talents in terms of potential bullpen arms. Like, look at this. Again, look at this. Got to send down Oliva. Wanted to go AAA for you, not double. God damn. So many options. So many options. Holy shit. All right, we'll see what the hell this ends up looking like. And then starters that are major league caliber. We got to find a way to add Brian Jones to the 40-man. How the hell am I going to do that? How the hell am I going to do that? I guess if we lose Jack Cerna, it's fine. Sorry, Jack. You're out of here. Potentially, if you get claimed. So, Brian Jones, welcome to the Major League roster, potentially. And then Derek Fritz is also Major League caliber, but the guy's 28. He's not going to be anything too special. Trade a guy for a product. Well, hey, don't worry. There's about to be plenty of trades. Do you see how many guys are in the mix here for this roster right now? We're definitely going to have to make certain moves. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Because right now our Major League roster is at 34 players. That is obviously not going to fly. We need to find a way to get rid of 8 people. And it's all pitchers that have to go. Which is a little bit scary. But there are some obvious shouts. I hate to say it, but James Bond has consistently been trash. He has a career ERA of 6.08 through 62 games played, 33 starts. He is awful. He is so bad. He is gone. And then Johan Valdez, who we picked up, had a 5.11 ERA last year. He didn't make the playoff roster. He's not, bad in terms of potential. But we're not waiting around for players anymore. Especially for certain guys. Like, it's shit or get off the pot for some of these dudes here. And then for relievers, it's really tough. But we're starting with those two. Bond and Valdez, they're both going. So if we look at an offer for Johan Valdez, let's see what we end up with. Let's see. And then we're still going to have other players to either probably trade, because if we drop them down to AAA, they're not getting that major league time that they deserve, and it could set them back. So, see, from Baltimore, 20B and a 69. 20B and a 69. 18B and a 65 from the Yankees. 20B and a 69. Well, I mean, 22, 20B and a 69, but still. 19B and a 66. We know now that there's an A potential player, though. 19B and a 69 for Pedro Lopez. Frank Ramirez in the mix. Roberto Perez, another potential reliever. 22A and a 71. I think we have to look at A potentials exclusively now. A lot of good B potentials. Ibar is not going to cut it. 18A and a 69 overall. Nick Molina. That's a no-brainer. It's a starter for closer, but that's a no-brainer. 18A and a 69. Can anybody offer us anything close to that? Not looking like it. Sanchez isn't close enough. Okay, the Cubs. Yeah, case in point. Again, this is why I won't be trading in future franchises because, I mean, this is insane. They should be more knowledgeable about Valdez's struggles last year. But Mitch Laird, and honestly, getting Jim Swift as well. Like, hey, whatever. 19A and a 73 from the Cubs is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And then the Giants offering Torres, who is a starter. But yeah, it's this deal with the Cubs, Mitch Laird and Jim Swift. Now, this is helping a divisional rival in a sense if Valdez turns it around, which he will, because anytime I trade somebody, they end up being insanely good. But we're taking that deal. Johan Valdez is out of here. And then James Bond, the GOAT name, but he's got to go. And hopefully the Giants, I was going to say the Orioles, hopefully the Giants have that trade available still that they offered us for Valdez. Hopefully. Let's see what we're dealing with here. NHL 04 soundtrack flashback. I mean, it's still the GOAT flash. It's still the GOAT soundtrack. I mean, come on. Giants not offering up the same guy. Again, do we have anybody with an A potential? There's some good B potentials that we've seen so far. 22A and a 71. Still pretty damn good. 22A and a 71, 22A and a 62, 20A and a 60, 18A and a 60. Third baseman Carlo Portillo. I'm interested. 18A and a 60 from the Athletics. Very promising. Anybody else hit that mark? I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, it's just, that's the done deal. Carlo Portillo, Dwayne Nair for James Bond. Was off to the Athletics. Had to be done. So again, we're still good at catcher. First base, we're still fine. Second base, we're still fine. Third base, we added in Carlo Portillo. Got to be honest, his fielding, though, is atrocious. We are going to try to train him up as a first baseman, which is a secondary position for him. And he's already up 2 points. Damn. So Wendell McDaniel, you're going down to single. Because Portillo... Actually, Portillo is going to be the double-A starter. We'll drop Perez down to single and then have McDaniel as the double-A starter. So yeah, or the double-A backup, because Portillo needs to be getting at bats. Then shortstop, Dwayne Nair. Honestly, he's fine as a shortstop. It's not bad. That's not bad. First thing James Bond's developed in Vegas is a gambling addiction. Not wrong. Not wrong. Let's drop Nair down, and then Monasterio can go to single. We didn't pick up any new... No, we did pick up a new outfielder. Jim Swift cannot field worth a damn. So he is also just going to kind of be hidden at first base. If you can't field, I just kind of hide you at first base until you develop somewhat of a glove. And, yeah, he's going to be all the way down in single A. He is not good at baseball. We still have 6 players to cut, which is brutal. Need to go back to auto management there for the regular season. There was the Valdez trade. And we did lose Jack Cerna to the Athletics on waivers. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. 1, 2, 3. Let's just sign. Bump up Pedro Rincon to triple. And we need to sign somebody worthy of double-A play. From the outfield, who do we got? Teoscar Hernandez, 40 years old. We'll stop him from having to retire as a nothing player, but he is going to double-A. Okay. So many starters that are eligible here. Chat will revolt if I trade Choo Choo, so I won't do that. But I might have to play him as a AAA guy, at least. So yeah, I won't get rid of Choo Choo, but he's going to AAA. Otherwise, he gets traded. Much like Giancarlo Feliciano is probably about to be traded. How much time left do we have on Sasaki? Dude, he's getting paid so much to beat shit in the playoffs. So many damn good relievers. It's crazy. Donnie English didn't make the playoff roster last year. Nor did Juan Medrano. Just double checking. Okay. I think maybe flip Donnie English. Flip Juan Medrano. Actually, Medrano might have made the playoff roster. I just don't think we used him. Yeah, I think he made it. I know for a fact English didn't, though. That is 2 more players to move out of here, just because we don't have space for them. Giancarlo Feliciano, Donnie English. And again, we still have so many prospects, pitching prospects especially in the system. I'm not worried about losing those guys. Skyrim, we've made a couple. You know, it's just flipping out guys that don't have a space on this team for prospects. You know, trying to keep that that ball rolling, you know? In terms of, like, the quality of the trades, my opinion, they're still bad. The AI still don't value their prospects enough. But, you know. Like I said, I'll deal with it for the rest of this Cardinals run, and then I know I'm not going to play with trades on for the rest of the year unless they fix it. 20B and a 69 for Prado. Do we have anybody with an A potential? There's already plenty of good B potential players, so we need to be on the lookout for that next tier up. 21A and a 66 on Houston. 22A and a 69 from the Angels. In the form of Kiki Mitchell. 22A and a 69, 20A and a 60. Honestly, I mean, yeah, 22A and a 69 is pretty good. 8, dude, there's the Athletics offer with Molina. Did the Phillies trade their new guy? Not yet, but give it time. Athletics, 18A and a 69. That's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous that they're willing to trade them for a mid-starter and reliever. But they are, and we had no restrictions on trading, so I'm gladly going to take advantage of it. Gladly. It's fine, too, because I still won't win anything. That's not a bad offer from the Dodgers, but the other guy is just too good to deny. Yeah. So we get a reliever, a closer, and a catcher out of the deal. Let's see. Let's take a look at that catcher. Ronald Acevedo. I mean, he's absolute trash. So, he's a piece of trash. The closer was Nick Molina. Switch him over to an outright reliever. And you can go down to Double-A. And who was that other reliever? Seems like it would have been Hester. Definitely would have been Hester. Okay. 3 more players have to go, man. 3 more players have to go. I guess technically we could have 1 fewer, like, infield depth guy. I guess. I wonder if Teoscar's still counting. No, it's still 3 more. We might have to be short an infielder in terms of depth. Silva's worthy of going with. You got Medrano, Montez. All right. Anybody who could potentially be on the chopping block is Medrano, Montez, Hooper. Potentially on the block. Are there any starters? Brian Jones doesn't have a ton going for him, but he is a lefty. Dixon's going nowhere. There's Cairo. Really good hits per 9. So we don't have Jones stats from last year. Dixon was not ready for prime time at all in his 3 appearances. 6 innings, he got brutalized. But, I mean, come on, the guy's not going anywhere. Cairo had nearly a 5 ERA last year. Jones, Cairo, Sposato had nearly a 5, and he's getting paid quite a bit already. Ullman's not going anywhere. And then Henley was one of the better of the bunch. 3 players have to go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would make sense for 1 reliever. I was going to say 2 starters. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I have somebody random on the Major League roster still that's not supposed to be here? I mean, again, the 2 second basemen's fine because of the 3rd. And then shortstop. Huh. Yeah, this is torture. Proven to be a much more difficult decision than expected. It makes sense to get rid of, I'd say, a starter. Which, again, is either Jones, if we don't trust that he'll develop too well. Which, I mean, he has no velocity and no break. Got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Cairo at least has the high hits per 9, good velocity, good break. He's not a strikeout guy, though. And then Sposato kind of sucks, right? Like, attribute-wise, he's not great. He's not. I think maybe Sposato and Jones. Cash out on them. We have Hooper. Who had straight 1s for a whip last year and a 302 FIP. Dan Montez. A 126 whip last year, a 351 FIP. And then Juan Medrano. 146 whip. None of these guys were terrible. Yeah, I still have to fix AAA because it's the pitching situation. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Like, Medrano's attributes are fine. He just has shit control. Montez looks a bit better. So Montez is probably safe. It's Hooper or Medrano. Hooper looks better. We know our 3. We got 3 more trades to make because these guys are probably too good to trade as a collective unit. It's going to be Juan Madrano, Wyatt Sposato, and Brian Jones. Although, I'm going to save first in case this frickin' freezes, because you can never say for sure whether or not this damn game's going to freeze. I want to check to see what major league level talent we could get if we pair these three guys together. Right? We might as well check. So Sposato, Jones, Madrano. If we look at MLB ready talent, what can we get? Now, this might take 6 years to load. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't. But it could. It could. It could. And it is. And it is taking a while. That's okay. And it's worth it. Again, you know, like, we're at the point now where we have to start looking at attributes as opposed to just like age overall, stuff like that. And I can't say for sure that's why Sposato underperformed last year, but it feels like it. So, how are you doing, chat? How are all of you? And the people that'll watch this on YouTube in a couple of weeks to a month to several months. How's everybody doing out there? Hey, you haven't dropped a follow yet on this channel, feel free to do so. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm here every single night. Let's pretend that didn't pop up. Let's pretend that didn't pop up. Oh man, it's still loading. Isn't that fucking crazy? Yeah, feel free to follow if you haven't already. And of course, if you're not subscribed on the YouTube side of things, do it. Do it. There is, of course, the main channel and the second channel for all of your franchise mode needs and or desires. Subscribe there if you haven't. Do it. Don't click the bell, though. Notifications suck. I do not have a single push notification enabled for my phone. Not a single one. You don't need push notifications. Nothing's that important. Nothing. So don't enable push notifications. It's not good for your health. Let's look at these offers. Baltimore. It's an interesting one. I'll crash, you know. I just don't get the... Oh, I get it now. Okay, sorry. Anyway. Victor Santana, Kalen Culpepper, and Andreas Ibanez. Obviously, I just want Santana. But not really, because he'd be a second baseman because he can't throw the ball. Boston offering Omar Cabrera, Jacob Wilson. It's just not good enough to do anything. Does that mean I have to turn your notification off? I mean, you don't need it on. Like, Twitch-wise, if it's 10 p.m., be like, huh, is he on early? No? Okay, he'll be on at 11. William Lynn. Ooh, William Lynn from the Yankees. But again, I don't necessarily need another... Oh, my God. 99 velocity, though. He's a ground ball pitcher, though, too. Jesus. Alexis Uribe, Mike Harmon, Justin Crawford, Colton Cowser, Michael Gardner, Roger Taylor, and Alton Hopp. It's two good young players. I was kind of hoping for like a 90, you know? If you're late, I normally check. So, yeah, I mean, social media side of things, Discord, you know. Kaufman. I don't even know specifically what type of deal I'm looking for here. I'm just being like, hey, can we get offered like this ridiculously good player? Like 90 plus? I mean, we can get offered Ricky Sims and Tommy White, but I feel like I can just send an offer for prospects and be fine. Ooh, well, Drew Blackwell. He's kind of just like a slightly better version of Sposato. If that. Damn, they have a hell of a first baseman there in Miami. Stanley Ono. But again, we have Chunky. So, like, if it's a major league ready guy, I need it to be one of the best players in baseball right now. If we are going to do this, otherwise we're looking for prospect. I so desperately want to take this trade and give these two right back to Philadelphia where they belong. This is the first time I've ever wished that this was an EA game over a San Diego Studios game, so I could say, oh, EA. Because, SDS just doesn't quite work as well. If you know from last night's stream as to how Philly just gave these two away to Cincinnati for nothing. A fucking Coke and a smile. That was about it. I honestly might just send them back to Philly. I won't because fuck it. Philly can pay the stupid tax, but the fact that Cincy is willing to take this trade to get rid of those two is crazy. Like, it's not like a totally egregious, I guess. Maybe. I find it to be pretty egregious. All right. Let's do we look for one let's just try to look for, we got multiple pitchers involved. Let's just try to look for one big deal. Baltimore's Robert Davies, 19A and a 72. That is the standard. 2A potential outfielders from the Angels. They do need some work. 22A and a 73. It's still 19A and a 72, or it's that Angels offer. No, that's the only one. So Robert Davies does at least have good velocity, gives up quite a few hits. The Angels, it's almost laughable how they've ruined the trade logic year after year. It's not laughable. Like, I obviously know what you mean. For me, it's sad. It's sad because I love this game. And while I haven't had as in-depth of conversations with some of the members of the dev team for this game as I have for like the EA NHL series, I have had some conversations. I do really like it's very similar to NHL, man. Like the people that are making the game, I think they have the right vision. They're super, super nice fucking people. But I just don't know if it's because they're restricted on time, if it's the code on top of code. Like, I just don't know what it is. If it's just very difficult to... I'm sure it is a very difficult thing to try to freaking, program. But it's just like, God, it just feels like that they're like right there. Like, it's the one thing. We just need the AI to not be brain dead, and we're golden. And add an international draft and probably connected franchise because people really want that back. Phil Gund and Kiki Mitchell, as well as Jose Jimenez. Kiki Mitchell's going to end up being a second baseman. The guy can't throw. And Phil Gund has a weak enough glove. He's going to be a corner outfielder, which he already is. Do I want Kiki Mitchell as another potential second baseman? When we already have too many as it is. I think it's that Orioles deal offering up Robert Davies. Like, John Hawley isn't too bad behind him. I think that is the deal to take, or we deal all three of these guys separately. For the sake of time and starting up this season, I think we're just going to take this particular trade. Again, Davies is fine as a starter. Hawley, not the strongest arm, but it's not god-awful, and he's still getting better. I think we could put him in center. Worst case, we put him like shortstop or something. And then Isaiah Harmon as a reliever just kind of is what he is. How good would these type of games be if they get an extra year to be developed? It would help. The biggest issue for some of these games, though, is that you can just tell it's code on top of code on top of code. And the biggest problem with that is you have turnover on the dev team. And a way that this guy might have been coding 5 years ago, you get somebody new in there and he's like, what the fuck is this? And then if you change one thing, the whole thing breaks. So it's a very precarious tightrope that they walk to even have these games function in the first place. But, I mean, some games would definitely benefit from taking like 2 to 3 years off as opposed to even just having it be every other year. But it would help. It would absolutely help. It'll never happen, though, because money, money, money. Sposato, Jones, Madrano for Davies, Hawley, and Harmon. That is a done deal with Baltimore, just for the sake of time. So, for the starters, Davies can start in triple for the moment. Where's Harmon at? I want to peg him as a single A option. And then Hawley. Let's put you in center. See if you can develop that arm a little bit. Let's see. Would never happen, but it'd be good. It'd be great. It would be great. All right, let's see. Let's drop Sanchez down to single. Green and Hawley can both be in triple. Let's put Teoscar in triple. Drop Juan Ramirez down to double. Drop Rincon down to, son of a bitch, down to double. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Perfect. All right, let's finish with the pitching staff here, and then we're good. We do have to send down 5 options from AAA here. Shannon Blanton will be the first. Mike Roth will be next. Oof, no, he won't. Oh, never mind. That was relief pitchers. That's fine. Yeah, Roth is good to be sent down. And then, yeah, AAA has a ton of starters. So we'll send down Kevin Plaza, Sean Duke Newcomb, and Lonnie Herrera. So then AA, it's a bunch of relievers that got to go down. Kevin Roach. Actually, we'll go for Hester instead. See potential. We'll send down Lopez. We'll send down Killian Navarro. And then Shannon Blanton. There we go. We are set. At least as set up as we're going to be. This team is first on paper, second in contact, 8th in power, 1st in pitching, 19th in defense, 3rd in regards to speed. The top prospects list. Antonio Davia is up there for the Dodgers, but we have Carlo Portillo, who we picked up in a trade, Mitch Laird, Mackenzie Nathan. So 3 members of the top 9. White Sox got a lot of people in there, too. Nick Molina at number 17. Steven Dixon at 27. Henry Silva, Robert Davies, Lonnie Herrera. Most of our top prospects are pitchers as well. Let's take a look. The rotation is Sasaki, Henley, Ullman, Cairo, and Dixon. The bullpen is Guerrero, Montez, Hooper, Silva, Fagan, Swanger, and Karowski. Dude. The top 3 pitchers, that bullpen, we're favorites. We have to be. Lineup-wise, against righties, Ullman, Alonso, Herrera, Casas, Harris at DH. Which, sure. Jackson Merrill, Jackson Holiday, Forrest Fleming, and Omar Rodriguez. Against lefties, same group, just a slight rotation with Holiday, Fleming, and Merrill. Like, dude, come on. Like, this team is pretty damn well stacked. Pretty damn well stacked. The biggest question will be, what do we do draft-wise? Again, we still have some catchers in the mix. I think, again, we just look to try to get the best players we possibly can. I mean, yeah, maybe I just try something different, throw something at the wall, but anything shy of a playoff series win would be a disaster. An absolute disaster for this team. You know what? Let's start in right field. We're just going to take a look at anything and everything that we can. Why not? Damn good week. Only one loss. That being to the Dodgers. Let's go international right, center west, center central. Sim another week here. Again, like right now, all we care about is the playoffs, man. Like it's the end all be all. It's the primary goal that we have. We need to be able to get it done. Gotta be able to get it done this year. Losing a wild card series in 2 games to Atlanta, that is no longer acceptable. You could argue it wasn't even acceptable last year. I'm just not particularly surprised by it. There we go. That'll give us some basic info about all of the outfielders. Phenomenal week, up to 22-12. We are a game back of the Cubs. So we definitely have some competition that we're going to have to deal with here. But nothing that we can't handle. Nothing that we can't handle. Nearly an undefeated week again. 27-13. Now 3 games up on the Cubs. We're cooking. We are absolutely cooking. This is what we were looking for. We may have indeed finally turned that corner to being a regular season juggernaut. 31-15. Still only 3 games up on Chicago, though. They're certainly not out of it. Certainly not out of it. Let's see. Let's go second base west. Works. That works. Another killer week. We've already taken 2 out of 3 in Chicago. 4 games up. The Reds are still looking pretty good. Mainly because I didn't take all their best freaking players. That's still insane we got that offer. Insane. All right, let's see. 40-19. Finally, we are cruising in the regular season. No concerns up until the last couple of weeks that we might miss the playoffs. We're cruising. Granted, we just had probably our worst week since week 1. But 7 games up on the Cubs now. We're looking damn good. Damn good. Another decent week. 47-25. Bob Henley has an 8-1 record so far this year. Outstanding. Outstanding. Let's see. We can start looking at individuals here. Although, you know what? Top of the draft, it is going to be starters that we're forced to look at. So let's do that. Spend the last 2 weeks looking at specific players. Phenomenal week. 52-26. Let this be the year. I'm begging you. Let this be the year. We have finally made the Cardinals a powerhouse again, but it means nothing if we are missing out on the playoff success. So apparently there is a phenomenal catcher in this draft, Ryan Gallegos. Damn. There's no way he's going to fall to us, though, right? No shot. Let's look at the dudes that, 20 Jesse Miller. Those are the type of guys to look at right now. Guys that our scouts think should be available by the time we're picking. But actually, should probably be taken earlier. Those are the guys. 58 and 32. We're now 12 games up on the Cubs, who have crashed back down to reality. We got one more week here before this draft. Let's look at Jim Delahanty. What else do we have? Jim Delahanty. Jason O'Reilly. Yeah, Palpatine, exactly like that. And Alexi Diaz. All right. So before we get to the draft, 60 and 35. The top team in baseball right now. Despite Roki Sasaki only having an 8-7 record with a 4.32 ERA, he's 31, so of course he's getting worse. 4.33, dude, he's bad. At least he's mid compared to what he should be. Bill Ullman might be putting together a Cy Young level campaign here. Bob Henley's been solid. Cairo has been okay. Same for Dixon. So we're not getting the best starting pitching, but we're also not getting the worst. Apparently we have Jason Hooper as a long reliever. Luther Fagan hasn't done too hot. Both setup men are getting innings. Swanger's been outstanding. What about the lineup? Ullman hitting .269. 9 homers, 39 RBI. .313 average for Jackson Holiday. He might be back. He might be back up to a 90 now that we've moved him to center field. .302 average for Alexis Alonso. Casas at a .281 with 20 dingers. Herrera still hitting .286. Only .236 for Chunky. He struggled a bit. .289 for Jackson Merrill. A .183 for Forrest Fleming. But he's so good, man, defensively. But holy, is he bad at the plate. And a .261 for Omar Rodriguez. Honestly, I think we just roll with it. We just roll with it. No rentals. We have the players to get this done this year. They should not need that little bit extra. But we probably will need that little bit extra.